Amazing features we lost because of evolution. Moving the ears independently. Once, our ancestors could move their ears independently to detect even the faintest sounds in their surroundings. Today, cats, dogs, and many other mammals still rotate their ears toward the source of a sound to locate prey or identify potential threats. Humans, however, have largely lost this ability, even though the muscles responsible for ear movement are still present. As humans began walking upright, relying more on vision, and developing a more flexible neck, the need to move their ears gradually decreased. As a result, the muscles involved in this function became less important over generations. Interestingly, this ability has not disappeared completely. Research suggests that some of the muscles around the human ear can still respond subtly and involuntarily to certain sounds. In other words, even though our ears no longer visibly turn toward noises, traces of this ancient biological system still remain within us. Some people can even wiggle their ears slightly, providing a fascinating glimpse into a trait that was once far more useful millions of years ago. Transparent eyelid. The nictitating membrane, often referred to as the third eyelid, is a fascinating vestigial structure that still exists in humans, but has largely lost its original function. In the inner corner of your eye, there is a small fold of tissue that represents this remnant. In many animals such as birds, reptiles, and some mammals, this structure is fully developed and acts like a transparent protective curtain that sweeps across the eye. It helps keep the eye clean, moist, and protected from dust, wind, and even water, while still allowing vision. In humans, however, evolution has reduced it to a nearly inactive form, as eyelids, tear production, and facial anatomy took over its protective role. Despite its reduced function, it remains a subtle reminder of our evolutionary past, like a silent trace of a once essential biological shield. Producing our own vitamin C. Millions of years ago, our ancestors could actually produce their own vitamin C inside their bodies. Just like many animals still do today, such as dogs and cats. They had a special gene that allowed the liver to synthesize vitamin C from simple sugars. But during evolution, something interesting happened. A small genetic mutation occurred in the primate lineage and broke this production pathway. In other words, the body lost the ability to make vitamin C. Normally, this would have been a serious disadvantage and could even threaten survival. But life was very different back then. Our ancestors lived in tropical forests and ate fruit almost constantly. So they were already getting plenty of vitamin C from their diet, meaning the body didn't really need to produce it anymore. Because this function was no longer essential, it slowly became inactive over generations. What seemed like a loss at first didn't prevent survival, so the change spread and eventually became permanent. Today, humans along with our close relatives like chimpanzees and gorillas are among the few mammals that cannot produce vitamin C on their own. In short, every time you eat an orange, you are actually completing a job that your distant ancestors once did inside their own bodies. And this small biological change has become a hidden legacy that still affects our health today. Thank you for watching, nerds. This was my first video, so don't forget to support me.